Hello again. I'm just going to go over here because there have been a number of different rumbles. I just want to explain here with this Ed Sheeran. Well, Sammy Switch's idea is basically. Oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait, oh. And Ed Sheeran's idea is. Ooh, why, ooh, why, ooh, why. Then. So the main hook is actually this bit, which is identical. Now then, this of course can be moved. We can start on any note. Oh. This is called transposition when you move a note to when you move a tune to a different pitch. I mean, we've got there a tune that I hope you recognise. I can start on any note. So by that reasoning, if Sammy Switch is going and if Ed Sheeran is going, essentially they're playing the same riff, different notes, but the riff is identical, although in different places. This of course is the first 4 notes of the minor pentatonic scale, which the minor pentatonic scale is that. Now of course the other argument would be right, this is actually maybe it's a bit of a blues. That's a riff you might recognise there. Again, the thing is, the second you hear this riff, that's the first 5 notes of the F sharp blues scale. I forget what note Michael Jackson's Bad starts on, but it's that set of notes there. So by that reasoning, the thing is, the first time you hear that, you immediately think Michael Jackson Bad. So even though that's actually just a generic set of notes from the blues scale. So by that reasoning, when I hear that, well, I used to think straight away, that's Ed Sheeran. Not anymore. So it's quite possible, of course, to hear a tune and to think you've, and then to sort of think you've come up with your own original idea a couple of days later, whatever. It's been somewhere inside your subconscious, and it comes out again when you're just messing around. This happens quite often. In fact, a student once wrote a fantastic composition which ended up being a certain Mozart sonata. But anyway, that's another story. But these things do happen. But the point is just that even though that's only the first 5 notes of the blues scale, it's instantly identifiable. So by the same reasoning, when you hear that, that might only be the first 4 notes of the minor pentatonic scale, but again, it is instantly identifiable. So right away, one argument that I've been presented with is that they say it's just the first 4 notes of the minor pentatonic scale. Maybe it is only the first 4 notes of the minor pentatonic scale, but it's an instantly identifiable riff in the same way as is only the first 5 notes of the blues scale, but again, it's instantly identifiable. The blues scale, I mean, if I just start on a different note for convenience. Right away, I'm using a set of notes there, but I've got a lot of different riffs going on there. I mean, I could actually incorporate, I don't know, I could even put the whole thing in, or I, so you can see that there we've got a blues context, and I can include the first four notes of the minor pentatonic scale using the same sequence as in the Ed Sheeran version, and again. But the thing is, again, even there, even there, when you hear it, you're probably thinking, ooh, 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 even though it's actually in just a sort of random bit of blues there. So because of that, it's an instantly identifiable section that actually identifies the song. So this is the main argument. Now, of course, how far can you go? How far can you go with the same set of notes when you're trying to avoid copying? If you look at this tune here, okay, right away there's a tune I can play with one finger. There we go, played with one finger. Now then, there's a certain artist called Louis Armstrong who did a tune called Wonderful World, or something like that. And the tune goes like this. Now then, you might have noticed it's actually got the same melody as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, even though it's a completely different sound. And in fact, a friend of mine who'd been playing jazz and had played that tune many times, hadn't actually realised that it was actually the same set of notes as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So in that case, I think we'll let Louis Armstrong get away with it. After all, Louis Armstrong was a fantastic jazz musician and somebody of amazing calibre all round. Now then, we can also perhaps turn to chord sequences. There's a wonderful piece called Igioni, which starts off like this. So you didn't need that section, but it's such a beautiful bit, I thought I'd play it. The actual bit we're interested in is this bit. And so on. Now then, that you might recognise is this beautiful piece by Ludovico Einaudi called Igione. If you don't know it, I suggest you go and check it out on YouTube. It's beautiful. Anyway, if I then take the same sequence, put it into 4/4, if I just change the notes a bit, so I've got the same chord, it's actually in D flat, that tune, but I think you will straight away recognise that as someone you loved. So that uses exactly the same sequence as Ludovico Einaudi's Igione. But again, the actual feel is different. It's in 4/4, and somehow I think we can let him get away with that one. Now then, let's look at another one that uses exactly the same sequence. it's got exactly the same chord sequence. It's got the same movement in the left hand. But again, I think that's a very different context. It's a big Disney tune, and I think we can just about let them get away with that. This sequence, if I come in here to the B and just come in halfway through, we've got something else that we can use. That's, of course, is a tune called "The Scientist" by Coldplay. Again, that sounds sort of a little bit different. I mean, again, you can get I don't know, another one. That's a tune called "Faded" by Alan Walker. Again, the same sequence there, and of course, there's another tune that my other half loves. Which, of course, and so on. So you get the idea. Again, it's exactly the same sequence there. So the point, of course, here is that these are all tunes that use the same sequence, and the melodies themselves, some of them are quite similar and borderline. Maybe sometimes they are just a little bit too similar, but we can just about get away with it. The thing is, there's a big difference between that and between sort of actually sort of a direct lift. Now then, of course, the other thing, of course, we've got we got that. Now that is something that, well, I'd not really heard before, but of course Sammy Switch's version is something like that, and of course we've got the same movement here between if you just put the C sharp in front of it, it's the same basic idea. So again, there's another similarity there as well in the key. So anyway, it is just possible, like I say, that I think maybe somebody heard it and then recreated it. But I don't think it's possible with two songs so close together for them to be, well, unless there's some miracle taking place, which is, who knows, it's quite possible. Let's just say it's unlikely that somebody would come up with a riff that's quite as similar as Sammy Switch's Why Oh Why. But who knows, I think I better not be totally committed on this for legal reasons. But anyway, so just decide for yourselves there, thinking about this through. Of course, Ed Sheeran does also, he puts that tag on the end as well. But again, the basic is still there, and it's inherent. It's actually it's a central sort of rising thing, the O-A-O-A-O sort of vocalizations there. Okay then, I've said enough, and I think I've cleared up a few points here. So basically, although it might just be the first four notes of the minor blues scale, it's one of those instantly identifiable things. Okay, have fun, make your own minds up, and see you soon.